Great, simple recipe for a very interesting plant. This is Malabar spinach. So, Malabar spinach is a perennial spinach-like plant. This is enjoyed in Asia, Southeast Asia, the Pacific, Africa. It's eaten all over, and it's a really cool plant you can find at your local Asian grocer. I'm going to show you how to clean it, and then we'll make a little stir fry out of it. So the first thing I'm doing here, depending on the age of your Malabar spinach, you can see the stem is kind of pronounced and looks a little woody. It definitely is. And if you're buying your Malabar spinach at an Asian grocer, you want to make sure and look to see if it has seeds forming. And if it does, it probably means that the stems are going to be much too tough to eat. But if they're young or if you grow it, the stems specifically are used as an individual vegetable and are probably very, very good. But my Malabar spinach is usually a little too old when I buy it at the Asian market. I love buying greens at the Asian market during the winter because it's kind of the closest thing I can get to eating wild plants because they have a lot of different interesting varieties. So just remove the leaves from the Malabar spinach and try to get as much stem off as possible. Then for the stir fry, a really great tip is that I'm going to take the shiitakes here. Shiitakes are such a good cultivated mushroom, and I'm going to cook them without any oil. So if we just do a traditional stir fry and put a bunch of oil and then add the mushrooms are going to they're going to soak up all the oil, and then there's not going to be any oil for our garlic and ginger there to flavor. So we're going to kind of dry saute those slices of shiitakes, and as you're going to see, they're going to brown up really nice, but they're not going to absorb all that oil. Then we're cooking this over high heat. You're going to add the Malabar spinach greens, and then we're just going to cook these over high, medium, high heat until they're nice and wilted, and it's probably going to take about like 5 to 6 minutes. You really want to take your time. See, I added some chilies there. This is really good with a little bit of garlic, ginger, and hot chili. We'll add some soy sauce too. But you can see all the leaves just cook down and get all succulent and nice. You can also see that there are some stems there that look like they may not be quite as tender. And I'm going to want to cook it down a little bit until those get nice and tender. We'll add a little bit of soy sauce there. But you can see I'm going to keep cooking these because that one little stem there, that probably needs a little bit more time. These will all be nice and tender, but just cook it until it's tender and it tastes good to you. And finally, put it on a plate, drizzle some sesame oil and some toasted sesame seeds over it. Wonderful stuff. Now the big question, what does Malabar spinach actually taste like? Is it slimy? Let's find out. I just love this plant. Oh, it's so good. So it's tender. It tastes like spinach. It is not slimy. I mean, if you've had mallow greens or okra, they can be much more slimy. It's soft. I mean, a little bit slippery, but it's not slimy at all. It's rich, and I would call it like meaty spinach, like tender but still meaty. It doesn't get really soft like spinach. It keeps its texture really well. It's just lovely. It's just a big, meaty, tender, delicious green. And a great one to know. So if you have an Asian grocer by you, don't sleep on the Malabar spinach. Just a really simple recipe you can make with a very cool plant that I think more people should know about. The full recipe is on my website. There's a link at the top of the video description for that. Thanks for watching.